You're either all in or you're nothing. The world doesn't reward half effort, it destroys it. Most men live their lives halfway committed, halfway focused, halfway alive. That's why they never win. If you're not willing to go all the way, don't even start. The world belongs to the ones who burn for it. Success demands obsession. Comfort kills kings. This is not about trying, it's about conquering. The moment you hesitate, someone else takes your dream. Either you dominate or you disappear. Stop standing in the middle. You can't have greatness and comfort in the same breath. Choose one. Most people will never win, not because they lack talent, not because they lack opportunity, but because they give life a half effort. They do just enough to look busy, to feel productive, to tell themselves they're trying. But trying means nothing. The world doesn't reward effort, it rewards results. And results only come when you're all in. Andrew Tate says, if you're not obsessed, you're not serious. That's the truth. You can't build an empire with 1 foot in and 1 foot out. You can't win by giving 50%. Life doesn't respect maybes. It only bows to those who go all the way. You either commit fully or you don't even start. Because a man who hesitates, a man who divides his focus, is already defeated before the battle begins. Half-hearted effort is poison. It makes you believe you're doing something when, in reality, you're standing still. It gives you the illusion of progress. You feel busy, but you're not moving. You convince yourself that tomorrow will be different, that next week you'll go harder. But tomorrow never comes. The only thing that changes your life is the decision to go all in. Right now, you can't expect full rewards for half commitment. You can't pray for greatness while giving the bare minimum. You can't say you want to win and still act like everyone else. The universe doesn't work that way. The reason the top 1% live differently is because they work differently. They don't half commit. They go all in physically, mentally, emotionally, financially. They burn the bridge behind them, so there's no going back. The truth is, when you're half in, you're safe. You give yourself an escape route, an excuse for failure. You can say, I didn't really try, and that protects your ego. But when you're all in, there's no safety net. There's no plan B. And that's exactly why it works. Because when failure isn't an option, success becomes inevitable. You'll do whatever it takes because you have no choice. Weak men hate this idea. They want comfort and success. They want to win and rest. But you can't have both. The man who wins is the one who sacrifices everything for his goal. He's willing to suffer longer, grind harder, and outlast everyone else. When you're all in, every cell in your body is aligned with your purpose. You wake up hungry, you move with intent, and nothing distracts you. Half effort brings half results. And that's why most people live half lives. They never reach their potential because they never go all the way. They touch greatness for a moment and then fall back into comfort. They talk about dreams like it's something they'll do someday. But someday is for the weak. The strong move today. The strong act now. You need to decide, are you a participant or are you a conqueror? Because the world doesn't care about what you almost did. No one remembers the guy who tried. They remember the one who committed. The man who went all in when everyone else played it safe. That's the difference between ordinary and extraordinary. When you're all in, you think differently. You don't complain. You don't hesitate. You execute. You look at every obstacle and see opportunity. You train harder. You study deeper. You move with precision because your mind knows there's no turning back. That's what makes winners dangerous. They've already decided. So if you're going to chase something, chase it like your life depends on it, because it does. The man who gives half his energy gets half his destiny. But the man who gives everything gets everything. You're not here to be average. You're not here to try. You're here to dominate. So either be all in or get all out. There's no middle ground in greatness. But everyone talks about commitment, but very few actually live it. People say, I'm all in, but the moment it gets uncomfortable, they quit. The truth is, your discipline, not your words, is what proves your commitment. Anybody can talk about goals when they're motivated. But when motivation fades, when it's dark, cold, lonely, and no one's watching, that's when your discipline decides who you really are. Andrew Tate says, discipline is the ultimate form of self-respect. He's right. Because when you're disciplined, you're saying to yourself, I deserve more than excuses. You're declaring war on your own weakness. You're proving every single day that you run your mind. Your mind doesn't run you. And that's what separates the men who build empires from the ones who just dream about them. Motivation is temporary. Discipline is forever. Motivation comes and goes like emotion. It's easy to be fired up after watching a speech or hearing success stories. But discipline is what keeps you working when the excitement dies. Discipline doesn't care about feelings. It doesn't need music, hype, or inspiration. It's cold, quiet, consistent. And that's why it's unstoppable. The undisciplined man lives in chaos. He's emotional. He acts based on how he feels. He starts and stops 100 times, never finishing anything. He wants success, but he's addicted to comfort. He says, I'll start tomorrow. But tomorrow is a lie he keeps telling himself to stay weak. The disciplined man. He doesn't negotiate with laziness. He doesn't care if he's tired. He doesn't care if it's raining, if he's busy, if it hurts. He gets it done every single day. Because discipline isn't something you do, it's something you become. It's a way of life. If you want to prove you're all in, stop talking and start showing. Your sleep schedule proves your commitment. Your training proves your commitment. Your focus proves your commitment. Every small habit you build is evidence that you're not just chasing greatness, you're becoming it. Discipline is what holds everything together when your emotions crumble. It's the anchor that keeps your purpose from drifting away. Every successful man you admire, from warriors to billionaires, has one thing in common: discipline. They don't rely on how they feel, they rely on what they've decided. That's power. Most people lose because they chase motivation. They keep looking for inspiration instead of building consistency. You'll never reach your potential until you stop waiting to feel ready. Readiness is a myth. Discipline is the truth. It's doing the work even when you're not ready. It's doing the hard thing when no one will clap for you. It's choosing long-term growth over short-term pleasure. You can't fake discipline. You either have it or you don't. And if you don't, life will expose you. Because life doesn't reward intentions. It rewards actions. The man who stays consistent, who executes daily, who honors his word, will always beat the man who only works when it's convenient. You want to be all in? Then prove it. Wake up when you said you would. Train when you're tired. Study when you're distracted. Build when everyone else is relaxing. Because every time you keep your promise to yourself, you build power. And soon, you won't need motivation. You'll move on autopilot. That's discipline. At the end of the day, your words mean nothing without proof. The gym doesn't care about your excuses. The world doesn't care about your reasons. Discipline is the only language success understands. So stop telling the world you're all in. Show it. Because talk fades, but habits stay. Motivation dies, but discipline endures. Discipline is your proof. Discipline is your weapon. Discipline is your empire. And excuses, the easiest drug for the weak and the deadliest poison for the strong. Every man who fails builds his failure on a pile of excuses. Every man who wins burns his excuses before he starts. You can't build an empire and keep making excuses at the same time. One will live, the other will die. Andrew Tate says, the world doesn't care about your excuses, only your results. That's the truth. Excuses sound good only to the man who's losing. They're comforting, they make failure feel okay, they justify weakness. But the moment you start believing your own excuses, you've already surrendered. You've already accepted a life of mediocrity. Excuses are the language of cowards. They're how weak men explain to themselves why they haven't achieved what they say they want. They'll blame time, luck, family, friends, the system, the world, everything except themselves. But a strong man knows the truth. You are responsible for everything in your life. Not some of it, all of it. You are the reason you succeed, and you are the reason you fail. The weak man says, I don't have time. The strong man says, I'll make time. The weak man says, I'm tired. The strong man says, I'll rest when I'm done. The weak man says, it's not fair. The strong man says, life isn't fair. I'll win anyway. That's the difference. Excuses give you a reason to quit. Ownership gives you power to win. You can't be both the victim and the victor. You either suffer because of your excuses or you suffer because of your effort. But only one kind of suffering leads to greatness. The world is filled with people who could have been great, but they chose excuses over action. They let comfort dictate their future. They'd rather feel safe than feel powerful. They'd rather talk than execute. And that's why most people die with their potential still inside them. If you want to be all in, you must kill every excuse in your mind. Excuses are mental parasites. They grow, multiply, and destroy everything you dream of. They convince you that you can't, when in reality you simply won't. The man who wants it bad enough always finds a way. The man who doesn't always finds an excuse. Every time you make an excuse, you lose trust in yourself. You tell your brain that quitting is acceptable. You train your mind to choose weakness. That's why every successful man is brutally honest with himself. No sugarcoating, no pity, no lies, just accountability. You look in the mirror and say, I'm the reason I'm not where I want to be. That's where real power starts. In ownership, discipline destroys excuses. Consistency exposes them. Effort silences them. When you live with purpose, excuses lose their power. You stop caring about comfort, feelings, or validation. You only care about results. You only care about becoming who you said you would be. You have two choices every day: find an excuse or find a way. The weak find one reason to stop. The strong find one reason to continue. The weak complain about obstacles. The strong build strength through them. The weak wait for opportunity. The strong create it. Your excuses are your prison. Every time you say, I can't, you build another wall around your potential. The only way to break free is to stop talking and start acting. Success doesn't listen to words, it listens to work. So, the next time your mind whispers, you can't, answer with action. The next time you're tempted to quit, remember your excuses are lying to you. They want to keep you average. But you were never born to be average. You were born to conquer, to lead, to dominate. And that requires zero excuses. Because the truth is simple. Excuses are for the weak. Execution is for the strong. Comfort is the silent assassin that destroys more men than failure ever could. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't attack violently. It sneaks in quietly, makes you feel safe, and slowly drains the fire out of your soul. The moment you get comfortable, your hunger dies, and with it, your greatness. Andrew Tate says it best: a man who seeks comfort is a man who's already accepted defeat. Comfort is disguised as peace, but it's really a trap. It's where dreams go to die, one lazy decision at a time. The bed that feels too warm in the morning. The couch that feels too soft after work. The easy life that feels too good to challenge. These are the small choices that build the walls of mediocrity around you. Every strong man you admire was built through discomfort, not privilege, not ease, not luck. Pain forged them. Struggle shaped them. Discipline refined them. Weak men run from discomfort, strong men hunt it. They know that only in pain do you find progress. Only in chaos do you find clarity. Only in the storm do you find strength. Comfort is the reason you hesitate to change. It whispers, you're fine where you are. It lies to you, telling you that you deserve rest before you've earned it. And once you listen, you're done, because comfort breeds weakness. It breeds doubt. It breeds the habit of doing less when you should be doing more. You think you have time. You don't. Every moment you spend being comfortable is a moment someone else is outworking you. Someone else is staying up later, training harder, learning faster, building stronger. Comfort makes you forget that the world doesn't slow down for your feelings. It keeps moving. And if you're not moving with it, you're falling behind. Look at history. No empire was built on comfort. Warriors, kings, and conquerors weren't sleeping in, watching Netflix, or scrolling social media for dopamine hits. They were too busy bleeding for their goals. Discomfort wasn't something they avoided. It was something they mastered. Because when you can endure what others run from, you gain an edge that no one can match. The truth is, comfort kills ambition. It blinds you to what's possible. It convinces you that mediocrity is success, that small wins are enough, that a simple life is the goal. But men like you, men building empires, know better. You weren't born for enough. You were born to dominate, to conquer, to rise beyond every limitation that comfort tries to cage you in. Every time you choose comfort, you trade a piece of your potential for temporary peace. And that's the worst deal a man can make. Because comfort doesn't care about your dreams. It doesn't care about your future. It only cares about keeping you small, safe, and forgettable. So you have two choices: stay comfortable and die average, or step into the discomfort and become unstoppable. It's that simple. Because every man must suffer one of two pains: the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Discipline is temporary. Regret lasts forever. If you want power, step into pain. If you want success, embrace struggle. If you want to build your empire, get used to being uncomfortable every single day. The gym, the grind, the sleepless nights. That's where warriors are made. That's where kings are born. The soft life will never build a strong man. Comfort will never give you greatness. And when you finally understand that, truly understand it, you'll stop chasing easy and start chasing excellence. Because comfort may feel good now, but one day it'll feel like a coffin. So stand up, step out, stay hungry. Because comfort kills, but discomfort builds empires. Motivation is a spark. Discipline is the fire that never dies. Every weak man in the world relies on motivation. They wait to feel ready, to feel inspired, to feel in the mood. But champions, they don't wait for feelings. They move regardless. Because feelings lie. Discipline doesn't. Andrew Tate says motivation is fleeting. Discipline is eternal. And he's right. Motivation is like a visitor. It comes, it excites you, it makes you dream big, and then it leaves. Discipline is the one that stays behind when motivation's gone, when the room is dark, when no one's watching, when you're tired, cold, and done. That's when discipline speaks. That's when greatness is born. The problem with most people is that they chase the feeling instead of chasing the result. They want the hype, the energy, the rush. But real men know that power lives in repetition, in the boring, the hard, the painful. Discipline isn't sexy. It's silent. It's waking up early when no one claps for you. It's grinding in private when no one notices. It's showing up when you least want to, because that's when it matters most. Motivation is about emotion. Discipline is about commitment. Motivation says, I want to. Discipline says, I will. That's the difference between the weak and the unstoppable. The weak rely on how they feel. The strong rely on what they've decided. Feelings change every day. Decisions don't. Discipline means you do it anyway, no matter how you feel. When you live by discipline, you don't wait for the right time. You make every time right. You don't depend on hype. You depend on your habits. Every rep, every task, every early morning and late night, it builds your empire brick by brick. You can't fake discipline. You can't talk it into existence. You earn it through action. Motivation gets you started, but discipline keeps you going. Anyone can be motivated for a week. It takes a monster to stay consistent for years. That's why Andrew Tate preaches repetition, routine, and self-control, because those are the weapons of a warrior. Discipline makes you dangerous because it removes emotion from the equation. You don't need to feel like working out. You don't need to feel like hustling. You just do it because it's who you are. And once you master discipline, you become unstoppable. You'll outlast everyone who's more talented, more gifted, or luckier than you. Because while they're waiting to feel good, you're already moving. Success doesn't go to the most motivated. It goes to the most consistent. Every day you have two choices: stay comfortable or stay consistent. One will make you weak. The other will make you unstoppable. And the difference isn't motivation. It's discipline. The gym, the work, the grind, they don't care how you feel. They only reward what you do. Discipline is the ultimate freedom. Weak men think freedom means doing what they want. Strong men know freedom means controlling what they do, even when they don't want to. Discipline turns chaos into control. It makes you calm in pressure, sharp under stress, and relentless under pain. Motivation fades in hours. Discipline lasts a lifetime. Motivation depends on mood. Discipline depends on mindset. One dies when life gets hard. The other thrives on hardship. So stop chasing motivation. It's temporary. Chase mastery. Chase structure. Chase self-control. Those are the things that separate men who wish from men who win. Because the truth is simple. Motivation will make you move once. Discipline will make you move forever. Be the man who acts when no one's watching. Be the man who shows up even when it hurts. Because that man, the disciplined man, never loses. Motivation is for the moment. Discipline is for life. And in life, you don't lose. You learn. That's the mindset that separates warriors from quitters, lions from sheep. Weak men fear failure because they think it defines them. Strong men embrace failure because they know it refines them. Every setback, every rejection, every loss, it's all part of the process of becoming unbeatable. Andrew Tate says, every time I fail, I'm not losing, I'm collecting data. And that's the truth. Every mistake teaches you something the easy path never will. The problem is, most people are too afraid to fail. So they never even start. They hide behind fear, behind doubt, behind the illusion of perfection. They wait for the right moment, which never comes. The right moment is when you decide to move. You see, losers let failure break them. Winners let it build them. Every loss is feedback. Every rejection is redirection. Every failure is information. And information is power. The man who fails and studies his failure becomes twice as strong as the man who never tried. That's why experience beats talent. That's why hunger beats privilege. Because those who fail more learn faster. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's the foundation of it. You can't climb without falling. You can't grow without pain. Every successful person you know has failed more times than most people have even tried. The difference is they never stopped. They learned, adjusted, evolved, and came back sharper. That's how warriors are made. Weak men quit when it hurts. Strong men think, good, now I know what doesn't work. That's how they stay in the game while everyone else gives up. Life is a test of endurance, not perfection. If you can take the hit and still move forward, you've already won. Most people think failure is a dead end. It's not. It's a mirror. It shows you what's missing, what's weak, what needs work. It's the world's way of saying, you're not ready yet, but you will be if you keep going. That's the mindset of the unstoppable. They don't say, why me? They say, try me. You either win or you learn, but you never lose. Because losing only happens when you quit. As long as you keep showing up, you're still in control. Every champion was once a beginner who refused to surrender. Every empire was built on failure, discipline, and persistence. You can't be great without being broken first. You have to fall before you rise. You have to suffer before you shine. Failure humbles you. It teaches you that success is earned, not given. It reveals your weaknesses so you can destroy them. It's not your enemy. It's your greatest teacher. But the problem is, most men run from pain. They want the victory without the war, the reward without the grind. That's not how greatness works. You can't avoid failure and expect to grow. The truth is, every loss brings you closer to the win. Every mistake sharpens your instincts. Every fall strengthens your foundation. When you fail and keep moving, you're evolving faster than 99% of the world. And one day, the lessons you learned through pain will make you unstoppable. So stop being afraid to fail. Be afraid of staying the same. Be afraid of comfort. Be afraid of never trying. Because that's real failure. Dying with your potential still locked inside you. If you want to win in life, change your mindset. Don't say, I failed. Say, I learned. Don't say, I lost. Say, I grew. Because every time you choose to learn instead of quit, you're already ahead. Remember this, winners don't always win. They just never stop learning. You either win or you learn. But the moment you quit, you truly lose. You have two choices: be all in or get all out. Because halfway is the same as quitting. The world doesn't care about your excuses. It only respects your execution. So move now. You were not born to live average. You were born to rule. So stop thinking small and go all in. Discipline, pain, and struggle, those are the tickets to freedom. Pay the price or stay forgotten. When it's over, you'll either say, I gave everything, or I wish I did. Choose which one defines you. Be all in or get all out. Because hesitation is the slowest form of suicide.